Hello everyone, how y'all doing today? I am John, and I was really hoping I'd get a better occasion to christen this. I'm in front of a new screen that I got. But this morning, well last night, I'll start with last night. Yesterday, all day, I was doing a concert, so I had no connection to anything that happened. Today, I had a funeral in the morning, so I had to go do that, and then came back. And when I came back, what do I see all over social media? There's been another shooting. Isn't that just dandy? So, I do not understand the mentality of this, right? Why, I understand some people, it was dealt with in the book The Fault in Our Stars, Gus always wanted to be remembered for something. And, they had the symbol of grenades and that kind of stuff that was used in the book because he wanted to be remembered and so on and so forth. But I don't get why someone would go do something like this to cause an impact, but know themselves that they're not going to live to see the result of it. I don't see why they do it at all, but particularly not if they're not going to see the result of it. It's like the reason why Hamlet is so annoying for the audience, because Hamlet goes through all this stuff, eventually gets revenge on Claudius for killing his dad and all this, but then Hamlet dies himself. Sorry. If you haven't read Hamlet, spoiler alert, I'm sorry. It's kind of a few hundred years old, I'm not sure if you've known. But that's the reason why it's so annoying for Hamlet, because he dies. So, I don't understand why. First of all, I don't understand why this guy. Okay, the shooter this time was Omar someone or other. I don't know his name. It was a strange name. Omar someone. I think it was Mateen. Omar Mateen, I think it might have been. So this chap. So he had been investigated by the. Okay, just I've read all the articles, and I read the letter that the governor of Florida, Rick Scott, sent to Barack Obama about asking for additional resources and that kind of stuff. I've read everything, and I've watched everything. I watched Obama's address to everyone that he made yesterday regarding the event, and it baffles me. It baffles me. I don't know why. I don't know what the point of it is. Like, what is this person achieving? This person is just, I suppose all they want to do is cause unrest, but that's what he's doing, but I don't understand it. I don't get it. So, yeah. Cheery day today, isn't it? This guy had been investigated by the FBI twice. Once, the first time was due to, it was because he'd been making comments in the workplace about hatred toward, he had shown hatred toward other religious groups or races or genders and that kind of stuff. So they had investigated him about that because they suspected him of being kind of overly aggressive to those different sectors in society, I suppose you might say. But they'd found no proof of it. They investigated and they interviewed his fellow employees. They investigated his employers. They investigated witnesses, family, all these different people, including himself, and they found no ties, so they dropped the case. Then, about a year or two later, he was investigated again for possible ties to a American citizen. I don't know what his name is. I'll put it behind me or somewhere. His is another citizen who went and became a suicide bomber in somewhere in the Middle East. So this guy was known to the FBI on 2 occasions, and he was still allowed to go into a shop and buy 2 guns. I don't get the... Okay. So, this is what makes America so frustrating. Because I want to work in film, hopefully one day, And America is the best for film. They have the best facilities, the best known market, the biggest market, the most varied market, all this kind of stuff. But they refuse to amend their Second Amendment. Because, I get the fact they want to be able, they respect the right to be able to bear arms and that kind of stuff and defend themselves, but they are just facilitating more attacks like this. And that's something that Obama said. He said, I don't have the exact quote, but he said pretty much they have to decide what kind of a country they want to be. They can decide whether they want to facilitate these kind of attacks by allowing people such as this, who have clearly had a criminal past or have had disturbances or are clearly mentally unbalanced, to be able to purchase firearms and facilitate these kind of attacks, or do they want to try and fix it? Or, as he said in the speech, do they want to stand by and do nothing and let it continue? Which is also a choice. which is what they're currently doing. Yeah. What kind of a world are we living in? So guys, I'm sorry this is a bit of a down video, but I had to make a comment on it somehow, you know? I had to make a comment about something because, you know, it's madness. So, if you have any comments you want to talk about or anything you want to bring up or discuss about this in the comments, then down below is where you put that. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.